Hello ladies and gentlemen, Porshea Wilkins here. And for those of you who have heard about or been plugged into our Straight Talk Woman Talk call series, the first thing I want to do is say thank you. I am so excited about what has taken place, the feedback that's been getting, the lives that have been touched, transformed, and transitioned to greater as a result of being connected to the Straight Talk Woman Talk platform. You know, I'll be honest with you. When God first told me in January to launch Straight Talk Woman Talk, I did not want to do it. I had something else in mind. I had a different plan, okay? And, you know, out of obedience, I decided to go ahead and follow through with what he's told me to do. I did it reluctantly, like a lot of people do when you've been led in a different direction than what you want to go. But I'm so grateful, as always, for listening to God and doing what he's told me to do. The women I've been able to connect to, the relationships that I've been able to form as a result of it, it's really been life-changing for me. And I'm so appreciative for everybody who's plugged into the platform. You know, it is my vision and it is my mission to make sure that Straight Talk Woman Talk remains to be a platform that is designed to help women define their purpose, decode their relationships, and destroy their fear. You know, those are three powerful categories, and I believe that they're going to be those ones that really allow people to uncover their authentic self. Discovering your purpose is a lifelong journey. It's a lifelong process. You know, unfortunately, it wasn't written on a birth certificate, the purpose for our lives. You know, purpose is the original intent. A thing is created, formed, or made. We all have a specific purpose. God created us to do a specific work here on earth, and that is to ultimately fulfill his purpose. But we each have a role that we play in that. And so that's not written on a birth certificate. It's not written on the chart. You know, at the hospital, you can't go somewhere and open up a tablet and just say, oh, wow, there's my purpose. That's what I'm supposed to do. It has everything to do with you understanding that your relationship with God is what's going to lead you to it. The closer you are to him, the more you communicate with him, the easier it is for him to direct you on the path he wants you to go. And the quicker you uncover your purpose. And so that's what happened when Straight Talk Woman Talk was formed. I was on that journey. I was searching as well. I had been doing certain things in business, and it's been great. It's been a phenomenal journey, and we're still on that journey. But I just knew that there was more God was calling me to do. And I wasn't clear on what or when or how or any of that. I just said, okay, Lord, wherever you tell me to go, I'm going to go. Whatever you tell me to do, I'm just going to do it. And be careful when you tell him that, because he will lead you. He will guide you. And a lot of times it's going to be in a place that you were not necessarily ready for emotionally, you know, but you're prepared for it because everything that you've gone through up until this time has been to prepare you for what he's already prepared for you. It's a character development process. For those of you searching for your purpose, you want to know why you were born, what you're supposed to be doing. You have this goal, you have this dream, you have this vision, and it hasn't come to pass yet. Here's the deal. I'll give you this example. You've seen people, you know, celebrities, for example, achieve a great deal of success. They shoot to the top, you know, they're winning all these awards, they got all this money, they're doing all these great things. And then a couple months down the road, they're getting in trouble with the law, on drugs, they're out partying, they're just turning up and just wilding out or broke again, okay? And the reason why that happens is that even though they may have been in alignment with God's purpose for their life, because it happened so fast, they were out of position. That time that is invested for you to work to get to the goal is to develop your character. It's the character refining process that a lot of people get discouraged with along their purpose discovery path. They want to know now. They want it now. But here's the deal. Many of us are so gifted and so talented that if God gives it to you right now when you're asking him, you blow it. You ruin it. You'll completely screw it up because even though you had the gift and the talent to execute in the physical, in the mental and emotional and the spiritual, you were so immature, you blew it. That's what happens to a lot of people. So even though the journey may seem long to you as far as discovering your purpose and finding the work that you're supposed to do and achieving that goal and executing that vision, be appreciative of the time. Be appreciative with the process and maximize that time to refine your skills, to hone your craft, to develop your gift, okay? Because here's the deal. Your gift will make room for you, okay? The Bible tells us our gifts makes room for us and position us before great men. Here's the deal though. Your gift can position you in the room that your character, if not developed properly, can get you kicked out of. And that's what you don't want to happen. What you don't want to happen is you do all this work, you get to the top, and then you lose it all because you were not prepared for it. And so what we're doing on Straight Talk Women Talk, we just launched a new series called The Principles of Purpose. And you know, this is one of the reasons why I tell the ladies when we're on the call to raise their hand and share, because you never know how you're going to impact the trajectory of the call, how God is going to use you for that. I had a different series in mind. I had a whole nother thing I had planned to talk about and to teach on, but there was a young lady who came onto the call and she asked me, she said, Porshea, I don't know my purpose. I want to discover my purpose. I don't know what I'm supposed to do in this life. And that was actually the seed, because for that whole week, nothing that I was working on to deliver for the call was lining up. It just wasn't right. And then it hit me, boom. The principles of purpose. We're going to talk about purpose, and the response from people from the call on Monday in regards to that has been phenomenal. People were taking notes, they were reposting their notes, they were sharing it with everybody else. There's a hunger and a thirst out there for people to truly understand what it takes to be who they feel they are called to be, to discover that. And so we're going to uncover and unfold all of that. I have no idea how long this series is going to be, because again, we do everything in order and decency in regards to what God says. If he says go left, we're going to go left, even though our plan was to go right. Okay. And so we're going to flow with it and see where he takes us. But this past Monday, we covered the first two principles of purpose. And the first one is your purpose is pure. Okay, your purpose was pure. Scripture tells us that God says, hey, before you were in your mother's womb, before I formed you, I knew you. I set you apart, meaning there was always something set aside for you to do. I already knew you and it was planned out. So before anybody had an opinion about you as a person, you already had a purpose. And that's important to understand. The second principle we talked about was that your purpose is in people. You see, if you're that kind of person that don't nobody like because your attitude is bad or whatever it is, or you scared of your own shadow, you scared to talk to people, you're gonna have to break out of that shell. You're gonna have to make some adjustments in your attitude. The reason being is there are gonna be people already pre-assigned to us to help us along the way. And God has it orchestrated, but you can't mess it up if you're not executing in that moment like you're supposed to be executing. It takes people to execute things. You can't do it by yourself. Understand that. You may be awesome. You may be superwoman, okay? You may have everything together, every I dotted, every T crossed, and you may have millions of dollars in the bank account. But understand, if you can execute your vision by yourself, you're being selfish. You're being selfish because it's too small. It's not big enough. Your purpose is in people. And I talked a little bit about that in regards to Moses when he was supposed to lead the Israelites out, and he was complaining to God about, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to speak well, Lord. If I talk to them, they're not going to receive from me. They're not going to listen to me. And God was like, first of all, who made your mouth, okay, to speak? Who made your ears to hear? I'm going to be with you. I got you. But Moses kept complaining, I don't know if I'm ready. So God said, no problem. Aaron, your brother, we'll use him. You tell him what to say. He'll be your mouthpiece. He'll speak for you. All right. You go ahead and you perform the miracles I told you to perform. So you do the acting behind the scenes, whatever you need to do. He's going to do the talking. I'm going to be with both of y'all while you get this thing done. You see, everything has a purpose and has a plan. Everything is orchestrated for a reason. So don't worry about what your shortcomings are or what your weaknesses are. God knew your shortcomings before he chose you, and he still chose you. Okay, so that means that whatever you lack, there's something he has in place to go ahead and keep you in that position so your purpose can be fulfilled. So those are the two principles we talked about: purpose being pure, your purpose being in people. We unfolded a lot of it. Go to the straighttalkwomentalk.com and you can hear the full recording, the full teaching on that, as well as from the ladies who shared at the end of the call their testimonies and their feedback on what, you know, they are pursuing in regards to their purpose. It's very, very powerful. Well, with all that being said, I shared with the ladies with the onset of Straight Talk Women Talk in January on throughout over the last 4 months. This is not going to be the Porshea Wilkins and Go Mo show. My voice will not be the only voice that you hear on the platform. I want to go ahead and execute that vision, take it a step further, and put a process in place for those of you ladies who feel that you have been led and called to do what I'm doing, to teach, to share your story, to share the principles that you use to get out of your situation and get to where you are today. If you feel that that's in you to do, then go to straighttalkwomantalk.com. There is some information there that you would need to submit, and we'll connect and we'll start that process. And the reason why there is a process in place is because we are dealing with salvation and we are giving biblical teaching, and those are sensitive things, and we can't just let anybody get on and just say whatever it is that they want to say. We have to take it for the seriousness that it is. And so once that prep work has been done for each person, then they will be added to the roster to lead a teaching on the call on Monday nights, and then who knows where it'll go from there. But I'm excited about that, because I know that it's going to be a seed for you ladies who are passionate about that and feel that you've been called to do that. It'll be a seed for you to reap a harvest. Whatever I can do to assist in that process, I am willing to do, and we'll just work together to make that thing happen. Remember, your purpose is in people, right? So I am stepping up to be one of those people to assist you along your way. So go to straighttalkwomantalk.com. You'll know what to do from there. In the meantime, continue to plug into the calls on Monday nights at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's 9 p.m. Eastern. Telephone information and everything is at the bottom of the screen. You'll also be able to get more information on it on my social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of that. Let's stay connected and continue to work together to do the work that God has called each and every single one of us to do.